Travis Wayne Goodsell, fighting the sun now, as I was able to get in here early, get a couple of videos done so far. Let's see if we can get them all in. So, being born and raised Mormon, I only heard other people talk about church history all through my growing up years. And I went to Rick's the first year and was forced to take Book of Mormon, and got a C the first semester and then failed the second semester because I failed everything that second semester. I just gave up on school and had to do with women. But I came back from my mission to Rick's, had to write a letter apologizing for getting an F. Please take me back. And they took me back. And this time, having gone on my mission, having read through the whole Bible, finishing when I got up to Rick's with the Book of Revelation, I was trying to see if I can finish on the plane back, but didn't, and so it ended up being here at Rick's, staying in my grandparents' house, and you're not going to be able to see me if this sun keeps poking through the clouds. We're supposed to have rain today, but it's supposed to build up for tomorrow's thunderstorms, if there's still going to be thunderstorms tomorrow. There we go. We'll have my right arm to the square to block the sun. And so I've got the church big on my mind as a result. And so I'm taking all the classes, all the scriptures, even the contradictory ones, as one teacher was doing the New Testament, which was the second half with covering Revelation, and then another teacher who's doing just Revelation. And the two teachers were contrary to each other, depending on who agreed with Bruce R. McConkie's atom bomb theory. And but I had applied for, or assigned myself to, the history class so that I could get the history volumes. But I was overwhelmed with credit hours, and as I realized that I needed to graduate and find a career path to go into, I took out the church history course, but I got to keep the books because my parents pay for it. And so church history was the one weakness that I had. The scriptures, boom, I was solid, especially as I went on to a heathen university up in Canada that taught science-based scripture study. And so, yeah, it's amazing how much more I learned when you apply science to scripture with real history research and the ancient languages applied to the original documents, and the development of theories to test for confirmation or rejection. And so it seems hilarious, but nonetheless, it was not until Bill Blunt, my former neighbor, was telling me in Sunday school class before it started, as he was studying for the martyrdom of Joseph lesson, and asked me, "Did you know that Joseph Smith had a pistol?" I go, "Well, yeah. My direct ancestor, third great grandfather John Solomon Fulmer, was the one who gave Joseph the single shot. And that was passed down through our family. That was the case." And so I then realized Mormons didn't know Joseph had a pistol. I was getting exclusive knowledge because of my family relation. But then he asked me, "Well, did you know he had two?" And I went, "No, I didn't know he had two." And so that got me wanting to know more about the martyrdom. And as I was going over the forensic evidence of the crime scene, I was realizing that the hole through the door is too low to have hit Hiram right here. And the blood stain not being Joseph's, and Joseph Smith chasing out the mob. So who shot Hiram? I then realized, we've got an inside job. And I immediately stopped. Went all the way back to the beginning. The scene. That is what I begin. This is what I go. If you remember that drunken scene. And I started with Joseph Smith Sr., married to Lucy Mack, living in Vermont with their small family. And then began the research, trying to find out, okay, was he a part of any religion? What religion was he a part of? Where were they on the map? Where's the distancing that's involved? Because they don't have vehicles, they have to have horses and to transport themselves. And so all of these things need to be factored in when you're doing research. You can't just say, yeah, because they were like 30 miles apart, so it was just a quick 30-minute journey, 60 miles a minute. No, not the case back then. Obviously, you're pulling an anachronism if you assume that people can get there. So Joseph Smith is vindicated on numerous occasions with the false accusations that he was at a certain place, when you realize with the Joseph Smith papers that, on that particular date he was there, and that distance is too far for him to have even gotten there any time during that day or evening. And so that couldn't have been him. Speaking of the Utah War, as the Danites got the judge and the sheriff to confess that it was Joseph Smith who was involved with that. That was all set up by the Danites to get Joseph Smith locked up for it. And they were the ones who had Orrin Porter Rockwell go to assassinate Governor Boggs. Porter Rockwell had nothing to do with Joseph. They were not friends. He was Brigham's friend, and Brigham rewarded him with a brothel here in Utah at the point of the mountain. They call it a hotel. Oh, Mormons. And you just laugh, I guess, when people fall for your lies, don't you? And so, yeah, that's when I began doing church history research, and it was because of my educational background from the heathen university, all about science investigation, that enabled me to correct all of the Mormons who got excommunicated. Seriously? Mormonism and the magic worldview, dear God. Jewish mysticism, big difference. But yeah, ignorant people make mistakes and spread misinformation. And so when you know this, you can lie to ignorant people and they'll spread the misinformation for you. Right, Mormons? So, yeah, that's my weakness in church history becoming a strength after learning how to study and research and investigate. So that was in the news lately, so I thought I would do something on that.